We will continue talking about what has happened already the last 4 days, the host of inconsistencies, the questions that have been raised time and again. We'll also talk about what next. Do remember Shivam Mishra now has been arrested, will be produced before a court shortly. We'll also try and put together the CCTV footages we've accessed. They, remember, are going to prove crucial in how investigations shape up going forward. But what we have for you right now is also a couple of scenarios. So what could happen going forward? Here are the possible scenarios. Scenario number one, he could be sent to judicial custody. That's number one, the obvious outcome of what may happen next. The second scenario could be let out on bail. This is exactly what one is fearing given the delay in his name to begin with finding a mention in the FIR, and also the 3-day delay, because remember, as per his family, he was in the national capital, he wasn't in Kanpur, so a lot of delay in terms of investigation overall. Number three, could be sent to police custody as well. This, remember, also stands a chance here. So these are the host of possibilities that could be witnessed in the next few hours. He's going to be produced before the court shortly. I do want to bring in Manmohan Rai into the conversation. Manmohan, what next? How soon can we expect Shivam Mishra to be produced before the court? Take us through the latest that you're picking up.
Yes, he is to be brought to the court shortly in, say, about 15 minutes to half an hour. And the judge will hear the case and then give his orders. This is, there are two possibilities. He could be taken into judicial custody, police custody, or given bail on the spot. So obviously the accused side is looking for bail. They would press for bail. That is what we are hearing from the lawyers, because they claim that it was not a very big accident. Nobody was grievously injured, or there was no casualty. So they will seek or press for bail. Obviously, the evidence in the case has been weakened because there is no blood alcohol test which is there on the paper. Obviously, the tests would have been done, but they have been done 90 hours too late. It is almost 4 days now when the accident happened. So the blood test would not really reveal anything. So the evidence is weakened. Let us see what will happen in, say, about half an hour.
Okay. What next? Perhaps the picture will get clearer in the next half an hour. Manmohan, the question being asked is, and on multiple levels, to begin with, every claim made by the family did not quite add up if we just compared it to, to the CCTV footages that we've accessed, that we've been breaking down. We've also been circling on some of those CCTV footages on how there's a complete mismatch in the family's version so far and what we see in these images. That said, the police are also to be blamed to begin with for a delay in naming Shivam in the FIR. Not just that, in following up, why was he not questioned sooner? Is that the impression you get, that they kind of gave in to the version coming in from Shivam's family, that he was not keeping well, he was in no position really to take those questions?
No, exactly. You're right. Absolutely right. The police action from day one was very, there was some kind of a collusion which is very evident. The police was slow. They gave the accused and the family all the rope. All the excuses of the family were taken on face value. And, the police did not lodge the FIR for the first 4 or 5 hours. Immediately after the accident happened on Sunday afternoon, there was no FIR for the first 4 or 5 hours. And after the FIR was lodged, the name of Shivam Mishra, who's very clearly seen inside the car, whose photos, pictures are viral, his name was not included in the FIR. So that was another big mistake, or another big collusion, as you might call it, of the police. And then after that, they did not conduct any tests. They allowed him to leave for Delhi, and they could not really trace him. The police went to his home after more than 24 hours, knocked on the main gate, and returned empty-handed. So this is now not how the police is supposed to act in such cases. And there was very clear evidence to show that, there was some laxity, some collusion by the cops in this case.
And also a deliberate attempt, it appears, made on by Shivam's family to sort of make the driver that they were naming a scapegoat, because a lot of evidence actually points to how possibly there was no co-passenger, isn't it, Manmohan?
Yes, exactly. That is what, in most such cases, that is what the accused try and do. The influential, those who are very rich, those who are influential, that is what they try and do. They pick out somebody from their staff, or somebody known to them. They project him as the driver, and they want to shift the blame from their progeny, their family member, to the employee or driver associated with the family, so that even if there is a strict punishment announced by the court, or even if somebody has to go to jail, it is not them who will go. It will be their employee or somebody down the hierarchy who will face the brunt.
Oh yes, the next 30 minutes are going to make the picture clear on what really happens. Is he going to be sent to police custody? Will he be granted bail? What could happen next, Manmohan? And that's the big focus really, because so far a lot of things have gone wrong, and that's for everyone to see. That's exactly why there is so much anger around the way this investigation has played out so far as well. And yes, action did take place, but delayed action is what is resulted in the kind of anger that we see. Not just people who were there, witnesses who've spoken out vocally, Manmohan. There are several others in the know-how of the investigation who've raised these questions.
Yeah. Immediately after the accident, there were lots of people around the car when the accident happened. They spoke about the accident. The people who got injured, they spoke about how they got injured and how the accident happened. So there was a lot of evidence. The car, the damage to the car, the pictures of the car, the Shivam Mishra being brought out from the driver's side of the car. He's being pulled out of the car by his bouncers
Yeah.
from the driver's side. So there is lots of evidence to
And to
show.
that, the family said that the other side was apparently jammed, and since Shivam could not get out from that side, is why the bouncers came in for help. But let's put this in perspective once again. Everything that went wrong, questions that remain unanswered still. The first loophole being spoken of, no alcohol test, remember, has been conducted, and time was of the essence here, and that crucial time has been lost because Shivam was nowhere to be found for 4 straight days until today, when the arrest has finally come through, and given that no alcohol test could take place. What really explains how he rammed into pedestrians, rammed into several vehicles that day, no one knows. The second loophole, no mention of Shivam in the initial FIR. He was not named as an accused. His name did not find a mention in the FIR, another big loophole in the case so far. The third big problem, several inconsistencies in the so-called driver Mohan's account. So much so that when he spoke to CNN News 18, he really did not know how to switch gears in the car. Now, if he was driving this expensive luxury car, how is that even possible is what we're asking. The fourth big question, crucial days lost in arrest. So who's going to make up for these 4 days, crucial days in the investigation, and so much that could have been found out that the investigators have missed out on. Manmohan continues to stay on with us. Ankur is also joining us back on the broadcast. Ankur, as we keep up with these 4 crucial questions, remember there are several other questions so far unanswered. How are investigators looking at going about this? A lot depends on what comes from the court, but for the moment, what's the plan really?
Yes, certainly. So now police will conduct a medical examination of Shivam, and after that he will be produced in the court. It depends on court whether the bail will be granted or not. But certainly, it would be a very tough case because of the lapses by the police. There is no fingerprints on the that has been captured by police, or there is no forensic check. The car just after the accident was seen driving by a bouncer of Shivam Mishra. Also, there is no medical checkup which can establish that whether he was drunk at the time of driving or not. So certainly all these evidences in normal accident scenario helps a lot, and these are primary evidences. But in this particular case, now time has gone. There is no point of conducting the medical examination regarding the to test the alcohol. It should be done within 24 hours. But now also the fingerprints from the car would be a tough task for the police. As far as I know, there is no forensic check has been done on the car, and since the if police could have just seized the car from the spot and could have towed from the spot to the police station instead of asking the bouncer to drive the car. So there are multiple questions, multiple lapses from the police side that will reflect in the case also in future. But currently, Shivam Mishra, after 4 days, has been arrested by police, and in fact, it also shows that the father of Shivam Mishra, KK Mishra, was also lying. He told the police as well as the media also that Shivam Mishra will be joining investigation maybe after 2 3 days. Doctor has asked him to be under medical treatment for 2 to 3 days, and after that he will be joining the investigation. But instead of joining the investigation, police arrested Shivam Mishra. So certainly he did not join the investigation. It was police who arrested him. There are
Yeah,
multiple loopholes
possibly
in
once he's taken into police custody, he's going to have to face the law. He's going to have to answer all of those questions. But what explains the delay still? Let's talk about this latest visual that's just come in. Ankur, we do see Shivam clearly in this footage, and I think he's seated in the police station. This is right after his arrest has taken place. So first visuals of Shivam Mishra after his arrest on your screens. What you're seeing behind me are those visuals. Now, do remember, there's a lot that's been said by Shivam Mishra's legal team. His family has sort of peddled a whole new narrative which doesn't quite match what had happened on Sunday and the manner in which we saw the accident unfold. All those questions remain still and so far have not been answered by Shivam Mishra. He's not been interrogated by the police, which also brings us to the question of whether or not this was not possible. Simran Babbar also joining us on the broadcast. Simran, if we just go by these visuals, we can clearly see Shivam. His family had maintained for the longest time that he was not keeping well. He was in no condition to speak to the investigators, to give his statement. Going by these visuals, he looks absolutely normal. Having said that, what are we looking at here in these visuals?
Well, absolutely. As you rightly said, the visuals also have come out shortly after when this incident was reported. And in the most shocking case, even in the CCTV footage, the police could identify that the Lamborghini at the VIP road in the Guatli area did actually crash in a very rash manner. And even then, when the sequence of the events was being stitched, the police took a huge time to even lodge an FIR. And even after that, there were attempts made for the influence at that point of time, which has made this case very questionable, concerning as well, that why was Shivam's name not being put in the FIR initially, and now after his arrest, now the investigation is also likely to focus on what exactly was the situation in which Shivam Mishra, the 26-year-old Kanpur tycoon's son, who was at the wheels or not on that Lamborghini during the time of crash. All of these points which are going to be now put in focus in that interrogation that is going to be done, and police is also going to put focus on where was he during all this time, because remember, lawyer of Shivam Mishra has initially given out the statement outside the court that he's receiving the treatment in Delhi, and then also there were statements coming up that he's not well. So why was there a change initially in all of these statements that the lawyer and the family was giving initially? That is the problem. And then the police is also going to, as per the procedural manner, look into the sections under which the FIR has been registered, if they are going to be bailable or not. All of these points are now going to be looked into as the investigation will proceed further after Shivam Mishra's arrest.